Good morning, I'm Claire and this is my vlog Loves Red Sews. So welcome back if you are an existing subscriber and welcome if you are new. So today I am off to Threads Festival in Farnham down in Surrey. So I live in Rugby in the West Midlands and I'm travelling down with my mum today to the Threads Festival, and then we are going to spend the weekend with my nan who also lives in Surrey. So I'm in the car, I've got my sewing therapy tie dress on in this lovely colourful fabric. It's nice and loose and floaty. It's actually really hot today. It's currently 8:15 and it is already 19 degrees, so I think it's going to be quite a hot one today. So I don't know what it's going to be like inside the venue, but hopefully it'll be fairly cool. I think the temperature is meant to drop a little bit over the weekend. As usual, I have completely overpacked, so my little kind of weekend suitcase is very full, and I've had to use the expanding option. I just couldn't decide what to take basically, and I wanted to take some of my new stuff to wear, and also accounting for weather. I'm not sure what the weather's going to do over the weekend, so yeah, that is that. So I'm going to head off now. I'm going to go and get my mum, and then we're going to get on the motorway down to Surrey. So I shall probably bring you along for some of the journey, obviously not the driving journey because I'm driving, but I mean at the show. I'll probably take a little bit of footage if I can, some photos and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to it. I've not been to Threads before, so this is a new one for me, but I'm really looking forward to my weekend. So I shall catch up with you again soon. Trying to get some colour on this lace between those two stuff. Hi everybody! I just thought I'd pop on and say hi, and it is now Saturday and we have just arrived in Poundbury. So we've just parked up and we're going to head to beyond the pink door. I might actually grab a little bit, a bite to eat. I'm here with my mum. Yeah, so we're going to go and do that. So I will probably take you along with me, maybe take some footage and a few photos and stuff and pop those in, and I'll come back to you a little bit later. So I shall sign off here for now. Speak to you later. Bye.
Lynn? Oh, just for a minute, we're not having a speech exactly, but I just want to tell everybody about the beautiful cake and everything. Okay. So, yeah, I just want to thank everybody, and we've missed loads of people because we've had how many people through here and out today? Don't know. I didn't go. I'm standing on my toes. Wow. Congratulations.
Hi guys, so welcome back to my vlog. As you can see, I am home finally. I've got little Ralphie next to me. I am just sitting downstairs in my lounge on my sofa rather than in my sewing room. So I've been home probably about an hour. I haven't unpacked yet. I've just got in and kind of chilled for a little bit. Ralphie is a little bit cuddly, obviously, because I've been away. A little bit tired by the looks of it. And yeah, I just thought I would just pop on from here and tell you a little bit about my weekend, how the rest of my weekend went, and then probably what you're all here for is the haul that I picked up from both things that I went to over the weekend. So as you will have seen in my video, I went to the Threads Festival on Friday, and that was in Farnham in Surrey at a place called Farnham Maltins, which was absolutely beautiful. It was a really warm day and yeah, it was just really lovely actually. So it's kind of like a little bit like the Stitch Festival or the Knitting and Stitching show, but on a much smaller level. And the venue, I didn't actually realise it's in different rooms. So the venue itself is kind of split over a couple of different floors, and then some of the stalls were in different rooms. So you kind of wander around the venue. You've got a room downstairs that was fairly big that had the Fabrics Galore were situated in the room downstairs, and a few other little sort of stalls. And then yeah, stalls were just kind of dotted around really. So I will have obviously put some footage and bits and pieces in which you will have seen, but you'll see that there's kind of different rooms and different stall holders in different rooms. So yeah, it was really good to see it and to experience it. It's a long way for me to go, so it was about 2 hours 20 to drive there. So I've done a lot of driving this weekend, so I apologise if I look a little bit tired. I do feel quite tired. So it's around about 4:30 now, so I've been home about an hour or so. And yeah, I've done a lot of driving this weekend. So down to Farnham was a couple of hours, just over a couple of hours. And then my mum and I stayed at my nan's for the weekend. So she's about half an hour from Farnham. So that was kind of quite handy. So we didn't have a very long drive from there. But then Saturday we got up and drove down to Dorset, to Poundbury to visit Beyond the Pink Door, and it was because Andrea was having her sort of little party to celebrate the fact that she'd been open a year, and it was such a lovely day and such a lovely weekend in all, to be honest. I've met lots of different people. I've been talking sewing all weekend. And Andrea's shop is absolutely beautiful. It was so nice to go and visit it. I've been wanting to visit it for a while, but for me it's a long way to go. Sort of from home it would probably be for a 4-hour drive, 4.5 hour drive, and it's just a long way to go, you know, just to visit a fabric shop. But when I realised that Threads was on the same weekend as Andrea's party, I kind of, you know, thought it would all work quite well if we could, you know, kind of do it all together. So yeah, that's what we did. And then stayed over last night again at my nan's. So it was a 2-hour drive back from Poundbury. Stayed at my nan's. We got back there about 5ish. And then today my dad actually lives about half an hour away from my nan, so I popped over to see him this morning, being that it's Father's Day. Haven't seen him in quite a long time. So I popped over to see him and his other half, and sat and had a coffee and stuff with them, and then came back, had a bit of lunch, and then we headed off to make our way home, which was another couple of hours. So I did all the driving this weekend. It's been a lot of driving. So, and I'm straight back to work tomorrow, so there's no rest for the wicked. But yeah, I'm quite tired. So I think this evening I'm probably just gonna unpack and chill. But I'm jumping on because I thought you probably want to see what I've picked up at both of the things this weekend. I'm going to try and keep this fairly quick because we've shut the door up at the moment because my husband is out in the garden playing golf. Well, he's kind of practicing his swing and stuff. And now with the door closed, it's actually getting quite warm in here. So we get a lot of sun in through the front of the house. So I don't want to be sitting here a long time. I'm sure you don't want to be sitting here listening to me whittling on for a long time either. So I'm just going to run through the bits and pieces that I picked up, and I'll start with the stuff that I picked up at the show first at Threads, and then I will move on to what I picked up from Beyond the Pink Door. So I hope that is okay with you. So I'm not going to do this in any particular order, but I think I will do this sort of per shop really, what I picked up at the shops. So the first thing I have here is a little bundle of stuff from Studio 77. So I did actually pick up a pack of fusible fleece from them. So this is round about 1 metre, 90 centimetres by 1 metre, and it's just a pack of fusible fleece, because I do want to make the caddy from Adam Sews, and I think this will probably work quite well for that, and it will also work quite well for, you know, other projects, bags and things. So I picked that up. Sorry, Ralphie, trying to squeeze the air out of that. So yeah, let's just picked up that little gift. I got a couple of stickers, which I think people have had in their boxes before, so that was quite cool. They were just little freebies. I try not to rattle this too much, but I picked up a tag which you can put on bags, and this is in black, and it says handmade, and it has a pair of scissors in the middle of it. I don't know how well you can see that, but there's 2 tags in there, and you can put them on a bag, which I thought was quite cool. I picked up a little pack of labels, and I just really liked this colour. Thanks, I made it. I just like the colour. So that was from Studio 77. I picked up some of this vinyl, which a lot of people were getting in their box, and I was really jealous when I saw this, and I thought, oh wow, that's really cool. I don't know what I'm going to use for it yet, but possibly project bag, or even a fun kind of you know, clear bag for, you know, on a beach, or, you know, beach bag type thing. So but I know this sort of thing is not always easy to get hold of, and I thought while I see it there at the show, I will pick up a little roll of that. So I got that, and I also picked up a bag pattern. I saw, to be honest, I wouldn't have picked up this pattern. This is called the Niway bag. Yeah, the Niway bag. I probably wouldn't have picked up this pattern necessarily, but I saw the bag made up in person at the show, and I really loved it. And it looks completely different here on the photo than it does in real life. In fact, I'll show you, that's probably a little bit more what it's like, but it's kind of like a wash bag sort of thing. And you've got some vinyl here on both sides, and you can use it, you know, when you go away. You can actually hang it up by one of these hooks, and I thought that's, you know, there's a little picture of it there as well, and I thought that would be quite a handy thing to get, so I picked that pattern up as well. So they were the things that I got from Studio 77. Ralphie is now having a little nosy in my bag at some of my stuff, aren't you? You're going to come and lay down? So I also went to Purple Stitches and picked up a couple of little things from there. So I got some of this webbing that seemed to be quite popular. I don't really have a project in mind as such for it yet, but I've just picked this up to put in my stash because I loved the colours of that, and I thought that was really cool. So I just picked up a couple of meters of that. I got one continuous zipper, and comes with a little zipper pull as well, and it's in this kind of rainbow-y colour. Ralphie, leave that please. Leave that boy. And I... he keeps putting his nose into everything. You can't really see what he's doing, but you can hear the rustling. That's Ralphie. Like, he's kind of pushing stuff around with his nose. And then I've got these 2 little labels from them as well, and these are little leather labels, and I thought these would go nice on either jeans or on the front of a bag as well. So again, this is kind of like the teal colour, and this is a slightly sort of pinky kind of colour, and I thought they were quite cool. So they were from Purple Stitches. Ralphie, Oh, no, don't lick my face. Don't lick my face. Sit down. Sit down. It's because I'm doing something. And then there was a store called Pattern Paper Scissors, and they had, what did they have on there? I can't remember what some of their stuff was now. I really can't remember, but I just picked up a couple of little things, and again, some more little labels, and I really like these ones. Ta-da! They just made me laugh, and quite cute colours, so I just picked up a little pack of those. And I also picked up these little scissors that I thought were cute, and they're quite a small little pair, and I thought that would be quite fun to kind of take, you know, tuck in your bag, take on socials, that kind of thing. So I've got those couple of little bits. I visited Victoria, Little Rosy Cheeks. Now I did have on a dress that I'd made in fabric that Victoria had gifted to me a while back, and because she had done that, I actually made her a little gift to say thank you, and I bought a punch needle kit, which was kind of animal print, mainly animal print, and then you punch needle the letter of your choice onto it. So I punch needled her initial V for Victoria on it and gave that to her at the show. She actually took a picture of us together on her phone, and I forgot to get one on my phone, but if I manage to get that picture from her, I will pop it in here so that you can see. But I think she was really, really pleased with the gift, and she almost got a little bit emotional, which was really sweet. But yeah, she loved it. So I'm really pleased that she loved it. It took me a little while to make it, and it was my first try at punch needle. It was a little bit trial and error to start with, but once I got into the swing of it, I think it came out quite well. I was quite pleased with it. So I will pop a couple of pictures in of it so that you can see what that looks like. But while I was there, I picked up another one of her label folders. I got the lilac this time. So I do have one of her folders already, and it's quite full with labels, to be honest. And I wanted to kind of get another one so that I could split them out and have one with the folded labels in and one with the kind of flat labels in. So I'm going to do that at some point and try and sort all my labels out so that I've got, I've kind of got them split across. So while I was visiting Victoria, Little Rosy Cheeks, obviously, I can't come away without any labels. So I picked up 3 little packs of labels that I don't actually have from her as yet. So I got these ones which say look for glimmers. I will pop a picture of them in up here properly so that you can see what they look like. I got these ones which say freshly made, and they've got kind of flowers on. And then I got these ones that say stay true to you. There was a couple on my list that I wanted to replace, ones that I love in my stash, and I've kind of almost run out, or I have run out. And unfortunately she didn't have those on her stand, but when I was at Beyond the Pink Door, they had them there, so I did manage to pick up a couple more while I was there. So that was the labels. And then there was a stall called Treasure Cave that had a lot of kind of embroidery kits. They had some really beautiful kits actually, and ones that I'd never seen before. So they had like this one of this bee, and the bee actually stood out. I mean, it looked like it wouldn't be a beginner embroidery kit, so I think it was for a little bit more advanced. I've not really done that much embroidery, if any, so definitely out of my comfort zone. Didn't buy any embroidery kits from there. They were quite expensive actually, and there was one that was just all animal print, which I absolutely loved, and it had kind of like beads on it. But I mean, that was the small version of that, was £28, so I didn't really want to spend that on that, so I didn't. But the one thing I did buy from there, and I've seen these being used by lots of people in the past, and I quite fancied having a go at this at some point, is this stick and stitch sort of embroidery patches. So this is what they look like in the pack. And this material that they're on is kind of sticky, so you kind of cut out the design that you want. You can put it onto a garment or a t-shirt or something, and then you stick it on. You peel the back off of it, you stick it on, you then embroider your design, and then once you've finished embroidering it, you then rinse it under a little bit of warm water, and the papery sort of stuff just washes off, and it leaves behind your embroidery. So I was thinking it might be quite nice to do that on a little t-shirt, like a plain t-shirt or something, kind of where you would put a patch pocket or something. And I thought I might have a little go at doing that, and I quite like those kind of tropical flower vibes, so I got that one. And then there was a little stall. I actually need a bit of elastic, and there was a little stall selling these little packs of elastic. This was the kind of size I needed. I think there's about 2 meters in here, and this was £4. I think it was £2 a meter, so that was just £4. And I also got another little measuring tape, and this one actually has a popper on it, so it stays done up when you finish using it, which I thought was quite handy. If you wanted to pop that in your bag or something, it won't kind of all unravel in your bag. So I also picked those up. I think those two things cost me £5. And then the pièce de résistance is the fabric that I bought. I only bought 2 pieces of fabric actually at the show, and both of them are from Good Fabrics. So I didn't buy any other fabric from any of the other stall holders, just from Good Fabrics. And I'd had my eye on one particular piece of fabric, and I wanted to see it in person before I bought it. And when I saw it, I was like, yeah, that is what I want. And then she also took a lot of her remnants with her, and there was one particular remnant I'd also had my eye on, and she still had that there, so I picked that up as well. So I'm just going to show you. The boy is fast asleep at the moment. He's finally settled next to me, and he's got his head hanging off the sofa. So the remnant piece I bought is this. You may recognise it is an Atelier Jupe fabric, and it's like a really dark kind of charcoal grey, and it's just got these kind of pops of colour in it, and I really liked this. And there is only 1.32 meters of this, so it's a relatively small remnant, but I thought that would make a nice little sort of top, either a little basic kind of shell top, or possibly a Donny shirt or something like that. It would be perfect for. So yeah, I just picked up, that was the remnant that I wanted. And then the fabric that I picked up was a cotton seersucker, and it's a very bright kind of yellow. It's called on her website it's called limoncello, but it's this gorgeous quality. I don't know if you know, Good Fabrics only ever sell sort of like really sustainable kind of fabrics, and she doesn't sell any kind of polyester based or anything like that, so you know it's going to be good quality. And this is a cotton seersucker, and I actually got 2 meters of this, and with a view to make a top, a kind of a summery top of some kind. It's quite lightweight. This is the single layer, so you'll see it's fairly lightweight. I would say it's not completely opaque, but it's not, I don't think it's going to be like massively see-through. So I think a nice kind of summery top would be lovely in that, and this kind of yellow is in my colour palette. So yeah, I think that will make a lovely kind of summery top. So what do you think of that? Let me know in the comments below what you think of my purchases. I think I was quite reserved for fabrics, but I did obviously buy a lot of other little bits and pieces. I would say the show, yeah, I kind of said earlier, so the show is, it's a bit like the Stitch Festival kind of thing, but it's on a much smaller scale. And I would say it's a little bit more curated, so it's on a much smaller scale. But yeah, I would say it's probably just a little bit more curated, a little bit more thoughtful, and it's a really chilled vibe actually. I wasn't sure how busy it was going to be. One of the rooms we went into at one point was relatively busy, but there was at no point was there any kind of pushing and shoving or struggling to get to any of the stalls. It was just really enjoyable, and it just felt really chilled. and yeah, it was nice. And you'll see from the footage that I put in, it didn't look overly busy. I think at one point when we were still walking around, a few people had gone to sit down and have lunch. They had some really nice areas outside that you could go and sit and eat. So we actually went and sat, and we took sandwiches with us, and we found some deck chairs outside in the sun, sat and ate those. It was pretty hot actually, sort of 27 degrees I think by that point, but we weren't out there for a huge amount of time. We just sat and ate our sandwiches and then kind of moved back into the shade. So yeah, I had a really brilliant day there, and I'm glad I got to go. Probably wouldn't go every year, but that's purely because it's quite far for me to go to. It's not because I didn't enjoy it and anything like that. I think it's a lovely little show, and if I lived a bit nearer, I probably would go, every year. So that's what I got there, and I'm going to share the bits that I got from Beyond the Pink Door now from Andrea. So as I said, on Saturday we went down to Poundbury to Beyond the Pink Door for the little party that Andrea was holding, and that was running from 12 till 4. So we actually arrived in Poundbury around about 12, just after, and before we went to the shop we actually went and got ourselves something to eat. So when we got there, she had a pink carpet rolled outside the shop, which was lovely. Took some photos, and then obviously went inside. There was a lady on the door offering refreshments, which was really nice. It was a non-alcoholic little refreshment. Looked a little bit like sort of fizz, bubbly, that kind of thing, champagne, but it was just a elderflower, which was lovely. And it was such a lovely vibe at the shop. It was really chilled. I saw lots of people in there that I didn't know, but I had quite a few ladies come up to me and tell me that they watch my vlog. So I'm not going to try and reel off everybody because I think I will forget all the names. I'm not sure I can remember all of them as it is. So if you were there on Saturday and you came and said hello, then thank you so much. And, I'm really grateful to have you as a subscriber on my channel. And it was so nice to meet some of my subscribers in person, and it was lovely. We just had a really nice day there. Everybody was so lovely, and we were talking lots of different people, and it was really chilled. Had a really good look around the shop. So she had like all of her fabrics out on display, and it's not a massive shop, but she has a lot of stuff in there. It's a really well curated shop, and it's absolutely stunning. In real life it's so much nicer than just looking at it online. She's got a lovely online shop as it is, but actually to see it all in person. And I think Andrea is quite a colourful person as well. She loves colourful fabrics, and you could see that when you walked in the shop. There was just colour everywhere. So she's got some new fabrics coming out, which probably thankfully at the moment they're not actually available to buy. They're available to pre-order, so you can go on her website and pre-order. But she had displayed some samples of them really beautifully in the shops. As you walked in, she had them draped up and then over and kind of coming down almost in a cascade. And then she'd made these tags, and she'd used magic mock-up from Stash Hub, and she'd kind of mocked up what they would potentially look like in garments. And I thought that was a really clever idea. And it was a stunning sort of display. As soon as you walked in, you saw these just bright, colourful fabrics. So these are exclusive fabrics to Andrea. I think they're called Carnival, can't remember the name of it. I'll put it along the bottom of the screen, what the name of her new collection is. But those fabrics are actually available to pre-order now on her website. And then I think they will be coming in early July. So I have got my eye on two, but I might wait until I get paid at the end of the month. But I'm going to keep my eye on stock levels, and if it looks like they're starting to go down a little bit, then I may just have to purchase. But I've got two that I particularly like, and they're just absolutely stunning. And she's really knocked it out of the bag with this, for me anyway, because I'm a lover of colour, as you know, bright colours. And these fabrics are just stunning. But Thankfully they weren't available to buy on the day, because I'm not sure my bank balance would have thanked me. So what I did buy there, as I mentioned, I bought some more labels. So I've got quite a lot of labels actually this weekend. So I think that new label folder is going to come in quite handy. But these are the 2 labels that I couldn't get at the Threads Festival, but Andrea had them in her shop. And these are to replenish ones that I had in my stash, and I just love both of these styles, so I wanted to replenish those, so I picked up those. I also picked up some more overlocker thread, and I actually got 4 of these. So this is a nice bright red. I do have some red overlocker thread, but it's actually getting quite low. I've still got a bit on it at the moment, but I thought while I was in the shop, I will pick these up. These were £3 each, so I picked up 4, and I know I will get a lot of use out of these. As you know, red is my colour, so I will get a lot of use out of those. And then I picked up 2 fabrics from Andrea. So the first one, this is the colour of the thread, so I picked up a thread to match it, and I specifically wanted to pick up one of her funfetti fabrics. I'd seen them online, but I wanted, rather than buy it online, I wanted to see it in person in the shop, and then make my decision. As soon as I saw it, I knew I definitely wanted to buy it. And it's this one here, so I went with the blue. It still has a little sticker on it, so I bought 3 meters. Because I've got a view to make a dress in this, and as you can see, the colours are just stunning. It's got this beautiful bright blue background, and then all of these different colours. And I thought the blue, out of all of the colourways, was probably the one for me. And my mum actually bought the pink version. There was quite a few ladies in the shop wearing this, because they'd got it in their boxes and they'd made up a garment and worn it to the party. And I did see a dress made up in the blue, and that sort of did it for me, because I thought, yeah, that looks absolutely beautiful. So that's what I picked up, 3 meters of that. So that is to make a dress. I was trying to have a think on the way back with my mum what dress I should make, and we sort of settled on the Hope dress. My mum had a Hope dress on yesterday, and I did get the opportunity to try it on. So I now know what size I need to make, and also what adjustments I need to make on it. So I think that probably won't be long before I think about making one of those up. And then the other fabric I got from Andrea is a washed cotton, and there's no surprise, but it's in this red colour, and this is just a beautiful bright kind of strawberry or tomatoey kind of red, and it's got this kind of texture on it, and it's lovely quality. Just got a little something on there. And to be honest, I'm thinking of another pair of trousers with this, maybe another pair of lane pants. Obviously red will go with quite a lot of things in my wardrobe. So they are the 2 fabrics that I picked up. So yeah, I only got 4 fabrics this weekend, which I think is definitely plenty, being how many I've already got in my stash. And then one other little surprise that came along, which we weren't expecting, was for attending the party, we all got given a goodie bag. And there is quite a lot of goodies in here. To be honest, I was a bit blown away with what was in here, so I thought I'd just quickly share that. So there is some information about colour analysis, which, as you know, I've already had, but there was a lady in the shop doing free colour analysis. It was kind of like a really mini sort of thing, but my mum, she had that done. And then there was a little Prim booklet, and then we got some little pins. We got a pack of tailor's chalk, which always comes in handy. And we got a little thing of bias binding. We got a little tomato pincushion. And what else did we get? Oh yes, so we've got a little tin with Beyond the Pink Door on it. And then there's also some little goodies inside here. So we got a couple of these little clips. We got this little kind of charm, I guess, to go on a bag or something, and this says Beyond the Pink Door on it. We got some universal machine needles, and we also got some household needles as well. So that was very unexpected. And then there is also one other gift in here, which is this, and I think I was quite lucky to get the colour that I did. So this is from Prim, and it's a little mug, and I got the red one, and it says happiness inside, and it's got all the kind of sewing bits and pieces on it, and it's got Prim, and it's just like it's a little mug, but I think that's quite cute. And if you just want a little, you know, smaller cup of tea or coffee, that's absolutely perfect. My mum got the blue one, so I was pleased that you know, randomly I got the red one. So I thought that was actually an amazing goodie bag, considering I wasn't even expecting a goodie bag at all. So yeah, that was just brilliant. So yeah, that is everything that I have to share with you. So not too bad, but I did spend quite a bit of money, and I possibly will go back in to buy Andrea's fabric at the end of the month, particularly the 2 pieces that I have my eye on. So yeah, but I'm going to sign off here. I need to kind of get some of my stuff upstairs. I need to get unpacked, and I think I'm just going to chill out this evening with Ralphie on the sofa. As you can see, he's laying here next to me. He is probably a little bit tired now. Yeah, his eyes are fully closed at the moment, so he's there snoozing away, bless him. So I'm going to leave it here and sign off, and I hope you have enjoyed hearing all about my weekend and seeing what I got up to. And I shall be back again with you next week with another vlog. Hopefully, I've got another busy weekend next week actually, but I think I will probably be able to find some time to do my vlog in between some of the bits that I'm up to next week. So I shall say goodbye now, and I shall catch up with you again next week. So I hope you have a good week. I hope you get some good sewing in, and I shall see you again in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.